frustrated with scheduling appointments? Powered by Vapi and Twilio, our appointment setter Voicebot books appointments effortlessly, saving you time and hassle. Check out the links in the description if you would like to get the system prompt and functions used in Vapi Assistant creation and make.com templates as well. First, get a 10-digit long code from Twilio. You can create a free trial account by going to twilio.com and get the virtual phone number. In order for the voice bot to work, you may need to upgrade your account to get virtual phone number that works with the voice bot. Then you will need to create an account with the Vapi.ai. Here we will be creating our voice assistant and then connect it to Twilio phone number. Then you will need a Gmail ID so that you can book appointments in the Google Calendar. Here you can see the Google Calendar. You will need to create an account with make.com to build the automation workflows. Finally, you will need an OpenAI API account. This is different from your regular ChatGPT account. Here you need to go to your settings and then go to these API keys and create an API key. If you did not already do it earlier, you must have stored it somewhere because we will be needing this API key later on in our tutorial. Also go to the settings here and note down this organization ID that is yours in your own OpenAI account and store it somewhere because we will need to enter the organization ID later on in our setup. First, we will create an assistant in Vapi. For that, log into your Vapi account. Here you can see I am logged in to my Vapi account. Here we will create a dental office assistant voice bot for booking appointments with dentist. Click on this create assistant to create new assistant. You can choose any of these pre-built-in templates or we can click on this blank template. I am clicking on this blank template and then click on this continue button. Give any name you want to the voice assistant. I'm just typing in Alex and then click on this create Alex button. First we need to set up the model here. You see the model tab and here you see the first message. First message is the greeting the bot should say when the call is initiated. Here I will copy paste my sentence. I typed in, hello, I'm Alex. This is Dr. Allen's dental office. How can I help you today? Next, we need to fill up the system prompt here. I already prepared the system prompt. You can copy and paste and customize as per your need. Here I'm pasting my system prompt. I'm just giving the instructions to the voice bot on how it should handle the call. And for the model, we're going to use GPT 3.5 Turbo Cluster. And for the rest of them, you don't need to change any of these values. You can leave them at their default values. The knowledge base, we're not going to use. Temperature, leave it at 0.7. And then max tokens, leave it at 250. Then click on this transcriber button. We're going to use DeepGram for the transcriber. And then the model is Nova 2. And we're going to use English language. You can leave these values as they are. No need to change anything here. Then click on this voice tab. This is the voice that the voice bot is going to use. You can click on this voice library and listen to some of the samples and then you can pick the one that you want. Here I'm clicking on this voice library. Suppose I want to see how Daniel sounds. Let me play this Daniel voice.
The world is round, and the place which may seem like the end may also be the beginning.
Let us go back to the assistance menu here and click on this voice tab. I played the Daniel's voice earlier. I like Daniel's voice. Let me see if I can pick up Daniel from here. Here it is Daniel. I like this. I'm choosing Daniel's voice. If you want to use some other provider, you are welcome to do so. Here I'm using 11 Labs, but there are many other options that are available. Play HD, DeepGram, OpenAI. You can use any of the one that you want. Scroll down. You can leave other settings as they are, but for the model, we're going to use 11 Turbo V2. We have another choice, but 11 Turbo V2 gives us better latency. That's why we are choosing 11 Turbo V2. And you can leave the remaining values as they are. No need to change any of the other values here. Keep pressing the publish button to save your work here. Now let us click this publish button. Now we will be needing 2 more functions to set up the voice bot. Let us click on this functions menu item. First function we are going to create is to check the availability of Dr. Allen the dentist. Click on this new function button. Specify the name of the function here and then provide the description of the function here. I want to call this check availability, and description I want to use this function to check Dr. Allen's availability. That's what I'm going to type in. Then click on this properties button and then give the property name and a description. I want to call this property as times, and you can type in any description that you want here. Data type is string. There's no need to change that one. Then click this save button. Once you have saved the property, you can click on this add button to add the function. You can see our check availability function here. Then we need to add the second function also. For that, click on this new function button. Give the function name. I want to call this as book appointment. You can give it any description. Scroll down and click on this properties button. Here we'll be adding 4 properties. First one is name of the patient. Click this save button. Then I need one more property. This is the purpose of appointment. Click the save button again. Again, click on the properties. Property name is email, patient email. Again, click the save button. We're going to add the last property here, which is appointment time. Remember to hit this save button. Once we have added all our properties, then click on this add button to add your function. So now you can see we have 2 functions defined here, check availability and then book appointment. Then click on this publish button again. We have created the assistant here, and now we will set up the workflows by going to make.com. We will be setting up 2 workflows in make.com. One workflow will be to check the appointment time and the availability of Dr. Allen, and the second workflow will be to book the appointment with Dr. Allen based on the availability. You can sign up for a free account with Make, and with a free account you get 1000 free operations and 2 active scenarios, which is enough for building our appointment setter Voicebot. I have provided the 2 templates that you can use and customize to your needs. Here I logged into my make.com account. After that, you click on this create new scenario button. Then click on this 3 dots and then click on this import blueprint and then click on choose file and then click on this check appointment.json, which is the template you would have downloaded, and click on open and then click on the save button. So here you can see the scenario has been imported. As you can see, once you import this template, you can work with this. You don't have to create anything from scratch. You may have to tweak this according to your own needs and make it work. Here you can see this is the web hook. This is where we will receive information about patient's requested appointment time. Click on this one and then you click on this add button. You can give it any name here and then click on this save button. For example, let me type in some name here and then click on this save button. Make will be listening at this address now. Click on this copy address to clipboard and then go to Vapi, where we have created our assistant. Click on this check availability function. Scroll down. Then paste that into server URL field of the function check availability. I have pasted that here. Then you can click on this publish button again. You can see it has been published. We can also test whether the endpoint is receiving the expected information. Just click on this setup button and we can collapse this first. Select provider for setup instructions and then expand this button, send sample payload to server URL. Then here you can type something to test it. Let me type in May 30 as the appointment time. Then click on this test endpoint. You can see the message here, test succeeded. You can also go to the make workflow and then verify that it has succeeded. You can see a green check mark here. It says successfully determined. Now click on this OK button. Next step in the workflow is the OpenAI module. Click on this OpenAI symbol. Here it is showing my connection. When you're trying to set up your make workflow, you'll have to add your own connection. For that purpose, click on the add button here. Here you can give any name to the connection, and then here you copy your API key that you created with OpenAI. Also here you copy the organization ID from the OpenAI and then click on this save button. Here we are telling ChatGPT to give the correct start and end times as required by the Google Calendar API. Make sure you are using the correct time zone in the instruction here. Here I am using central time zone, that's why subtracting 5 hours. Here I am using GMT -5 since my time zone is a central time zone in US. You may need to adjust this according to your business location. Here you can see my time zone GMT -5 central time Chicago. That's why I have given -05 here. That means both are matching. You may also need to adjust this start time and end time as per your business hours. In this example, I am specifying 9 a.m. as the start time and 5 p.m. as the end time for taking the appointments. In the second message to ChatGPT, we are letting it know the current time zone of the patient. The output of this module is a JSON string with the start and end time parameter. This is the JSON module. You may need to create this data structure. For that purpose, click on this add button and then click on this add item. Then specify the item. Name of the field here is start time. Once you specify the fields here, and then you can give a name to this data structure and then click on this save button. So this is the JSON data structure that we have. You can see we have the first field as start time and the data type is text, and we have the end time, the second field, and then data type as text. Next, we have a validation step here to ensure the appointment date is in future. For that, you create a router module here with the 2 branches. In the first branch, set up a filter to check if selected date is in the past. Here is the filter that I set up. You can look at this condition. If the workflow passes through this branch, this webhook will be executed, and this webhook sends back a message to the Vapi saying you selected an appointment date that is in the past. Try again. The second branch will be executed if the selected date is a valid date. Here again you can see the filter that has been set up. If the date is valid, this branch will be executed and the execution flow will continue with this module. In the next module, we have defined a variable day of week, and then we are fetching the value of the day of the week from our start time variable. We are fetching the day of the week so as to not to schedule the appointment on a weekend, and if it is not a weekend, we will pass it to the next module. If the day of the week falls on a weekend, the router module triggers a webhook that sends a message back to Vapi saying appointments are not available on the weekends. Here we can check the filter that we set up. We extracted day of week, and then if it is Saturday or if it is Sunday, this branch will be executed, and then this message will be sent back to the Vapi saying that we are not available on weekends. Our office hours are Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And here we are checking if the day of the week is not equal to Sunday and Saturday. It's a regular weekday, and the execution flow will continue to the next Google Calendar module. You need to set up the Google Calendar with the Gmail and then specify the URL portion for the specific calendar. This Gmail calendar is based on my connection. You will have to create your own connection. For the URL portion, you leave this as it is. Do not change anything here. It should say v3 busy, and the rest of the settings will be same. Post method, key, value, and then the body should contain these fields except the ID field, which you need to change it to your own Gmail ID to access your own calendar. You may need to create your own connection here when you come to this module. For that, you need to click on this add button here. Here you give any name to this Google connection and then sign in with your own Google account. The Google Calendar module is very important module, and you may run into errors if it is not properly configured. The execution flow continues to the next module. Here we have a router again. Here again we set up a filter. We can check what is the filter here. Here we are checking for the condition whether your calendar is free or busy. It will return 0 if the day is completely available. If all the appointment slots are available on that day, the flow continues this way and then triggers this webhook module, sending a message that all appointment slots are available on that selected day. This condition should reflect your own Gmail ID, and it should exactly look like this way. when you import the template, it may show this Gmail ID. And in order to update this Gmail ID with your own Gmail ID, you may have to execute this module once so that you will be able to select your own Gmail ID into this condition here. You will be able to execute each module by right clicking on that specific module and then click on this run this module only. The execution flow will take this second branch if there are any existing appointments. Here also click on this filter icon and update the Gmail to your own Gmail account here. You will be able to update this with your Gmail account only after the Google Calendar module here gets successfully executed once. Next is the iterator module. This will find the busy slots from your calendar. After that, we have this JSON module that collects all the busy slots in a string and passes it to the next ChatGPT module here. Pay attention to how to create this JSON module as we are processing an array of values here. This is different from the JSON module that we have defined earlier, which is simply a collection. But here it is an array. When you import the blueprint, here you may have this as empty. Then you'll have to create a new data structure here. Click on this add button. Then you can give any name to your data structure. I'm just giving it the name test array. And here it is best to use a sample structure to generate this data structure. In order to do that, let us click on this generate button and I will paste sample data here that represents the actual array here. Let me paste that sample data structure. Then you click on this generate button. Here you can see this is being created. The name is booked appointment slots 1 and then type is array. Then the field is start and then type you can change it to date. Similarly, the second field is end and then type you can change it to date. Once you have specified the data type, then you can click on this save button. So now you see our data structure test array has been created. Now you need to click on this map button and then click on this field and then select value from here and then click on this OK button. So that's how I have created this data structure. Make sure you follow these steps. This is very important. The ChatGPT module receives the busy slots from the previous JSON module and offers the available free slots. Here you can see I have given the prompt to ChatGPT. You will be provided with busy slots from Dr. Allen's calendar. Your task is to list the available times between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. after eliminating the busy slots. I'm also explicitly mentioning it to convert the times into US Central Time Zone first. So you may have to change this depending on your business location. Here it is saying these are the busy slots from Dr. Allen's calendar in US Central Time Zone. So we have provided this information to ChatGPT and then we are asking it to let us know the available slots. The available free slots are passed to the next webhook module which sends the available free slots to Vapi AI. Now we have completed the workflow 1. You can test this workflow to make sure everything is working fine. Once you are happy with all the configuration steps, you click on this save button to save your scenario. After saving the scenario, we can test our scenario. In order to test our scenario, you can click on this run once button. You can see now the webhook is waiting for a response. Let us go to Vapi and let us check for May 30 appointment time slots. For that, I am typing in May 30 here and then click on this test endpoint. You can see the message here. It said test succeeded. Now let us go to make.com and see how the scenario ran. Here it says the scenario was finalized. The scenario run was completed. And here you can see the path, how the execution flow ran. You can see this green letter. It means that the module ran successfully, ended here. We can also click on this icon and see result after the module ran. You can expand this message. It is telling us that May 30 has been passed as a parameter. That is correct. Then it came to the next ChatGPT module. Here also you can see the results of the module. You can see the input and then you can see the output. Since we passed May 30 and we want to check the appointment times available between 9 and 5 on May 30. That's what it is showing here. It has combined that output into a JSON string, start time and end time. Now we can look at this JSON module. We have parsed out the string and then separated out start time and end time into different fields. This is the input coming in as one entire string. This is the output being separated into start time and end time fields as per our JSON module structure. Next, it passes to this router to check whether the date is in the past or it's a valid date. Here you can click on this icon. Here it is saying the date is not in the past. You can see a red circle here. It failed the validation test, which is correct because May 30 is in the future. Since it's the future date, we can see here this condition has been evaluated to true and the execution continues with this branch. Here we are extracting the day of the week for May 30. So the value has been extracted as Thursday. We can confirm here May 30 is Thursday. So May 30 here has been correctly interpreted as a Thursday. So you can see here the branch did not meet the filter condition, that is checking whether the day of the week is Saturday or Sunday. We can see because it is Thursday and not a Sunday and not a Saturday, this branch condition has met the criteria and then the execution follows this route. Here it checks the Google Calendar. We can see the result. It is checking whether that event free busy is returning 0 or not. It is passing through this router and then the filter condition is evaluated. Here you can see this filter condition has been met and this branch has been executed, and it is saying that all time slots are available on May 30 between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Because there are no existing appointments, the entire day is available to book the appointment. Here also you can confirm to check how the filter condition has been evaluated. It is saying this condition evaluated to be false and then this part of the branch is not executed. Now once you make sure that check availability workflow is working fine, now you can load the second scenario. In order to load the second scenario, again go back to your dashboard and then click on the create a new scenario. Click on these three dots and then click on this import blueprint. Then click on this choose file. This time import the book appointment.json file. Click save here. You can click on this first webhook module. Click on this add button here. We have already done this for our first scenario. You can follow the same process. Here you can give it any name and then click on this save button. Now click on this copy address to the clipboard and then go back to your Vapi dashboard again. Click on this book appointment function. Then paste that webhook address into this server URL. Then click this publish button. Then come back to make and click on this Google Calendar module. Choose your connection from this drop down box. You can select the connection that you created in the first scenario. Then make sure this calendar ID shows your Gmail ID here and make sure the rest of the parameters are set properly here and then click on this OK button to save your changes. The next webhook module will send the confirmation to Vapi AI about the appointments created in the Google Calendar. It is sending back a message saying that appointment was booked successfully and the appointment time. Once you made all the configuration changes, click on this save button to save your scenario, and after saving your scenario you can test it by clicking on this run once button and then the webhook starts waiting for the input. Then you go back to your Vapi dashboard and then click on this setup button and then type in test values here and then click on this test endpoint. Let us do a small test for the second scenario. Click this run once icon. You can see it is waiting for the input. Let us go back to the Vapi. Let's go to our function. Book appointment is the one that we want to test. Click on this setup item. Collapse the first one. Expand the second one. And then fill in the values here. John. We want to book an appointment for May 30. So let me see the calendar for May 30 here. You can see May 30 does not have any appointment as of now. It's all empty. I'm giving the name and then I'm giving the email. Purpose of appointment. Appointment time. We give 10 for the appointment time and then click on this test endpoint. It says test succeeded. Let us go back to make. You can see the scenario run was completed. You can see all the green letters here. We can see the output of each module by clicking on this icon. You can see the message here, the appointment was booked successfully for 10. Come back to make and check whether the flow got executed successfully or there are any errors. Once you make sure the scenario is executing without any error, we can test both scenarios by actually calling the Twilio phone number that we can link in Vapi for inbound calls. Before you test both scenarios, click on toggle switch to on so that the scenario runs immediately. Next, connect your Twilio phone number to the assistant we just created in Vapi. Here you can see my Twilio phone number has been connected with the Alex assistant that we just created for the inbound calls. Now let us do a test by calling the Twilio phone number. I am casting my phone onto laptop screen so that you can see my phone calling the appointment setter voicebot number.
Hello, I am Alex. This is Dr. Allen's dental office. How can I help you today?
I want to book an appointment.
Great. When would you like to come in for your appointment?
May 30,
Got it. What time of the day would you prefer?
11 a.m.
Just a sec. The 11 a.m. slot on May 30th is available. Would you like to book it?
Yes,
Great. I just need a few details to complete the booking. What's your name?
Shiva,
Got it. Your name is Shiva. Please provide your email address.
sunkona@gmail.com.
Great. So that's unkona@gmail.com. Is that correct?
Correct.
Perfect. And what is the purpose of your appointment?
Dental cleaning.
Hold on a sec. Your appointment on May 30th at 11 a.m. for dental cleaning is all set. You'll receive a confirmation email shortly. Let me know if there's anything else I can help you with.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask.
We got the confirmation from Dr. Allen dentist office that we booked the appointment on May 30 at 11 a.m. Let us go back to our Google Calendar and check. We can confirm the appointment by going to the Google Calendar and verifying the appointment is recorded. Here you can see meeting with Shiva has been recorded at 11 a.m. on May 30. Congratulations, you built an AI voice bot that can book appointments for your business. Bye until next video.